This video is part of the course that is GraphQL with Spring Boot. Link for this course is given in the description. Hello and welcome back. So till now we have seen what is GraphQL and what is query and mutation in GraphQL. Now in this lecture we will see what is schema in GraphQL. As I already said that in GraphQL, as a consumer, we have flexibility that which data we want in the response. In REST API, we have fixed response. In GraphQL, we have flexibility that, okay, I want these fields only in the response, say for example, in the format of JSON. Now, GraphQL provides this flexibility using schema. So we can say that schema provides the flexibility to the consumers, basically consumers of our application, that which attributes, which data they want in the response. So we can say that using schema only, GraphQL provides the flexibility to the consumers that which data they want to have in the response. Now in GraphQL, we have separate file for schema and that file has extension as .graphqls. So you may be thinking that what this file will contain, what to put inside that and where to put this file inside our Spring Boot application. So don't worry, as we proceed in the course, you will learn how to create the GraphQLs file, where to put and what to put inside that GraphQLs file. For now, you need to understand that GraphQL file is having extension as GraphQLs, and that is the reason that GraphQL is providing flexibility that which data consumers want in the response. Now, we know that GraphQL schema is basically a separate file. So you may be thinking that what to put inside this schema file. Say for example, we have one class in Java, student.java, okay? And that class has some sort of fields. Say for example, student ID, first name, last name, email, street, city, and some other fields. Now, inside the schema, we put, okay, this is the type of student and these are the fields inside the student.java with data type of each and every field, basically data type of each and every variable that we have inside our student.java class. Now here in our example, student.java has 6 fields, okay? So it is not compulsory that you need to provide schema for all the fields inside the schema file. No, it's up to you. But remember, if you don't provide schema for a particular field, that field will not be visible to your consumers. And this is the reason that schema provides flexibility that what data they want. How to put these fields and its data type in the GraphQL schema file, that you will learn as we proceed in the course. For now, you need to understand that inside the schema file, we have set of fields and data type for each and every field that we have defined in the schema file. Now, let's move ahead. As we have already seen that if we don't provide schema for a particular field, then that field will not be visible to the consumers. So we can say that schema is basically the contract between the consumer and provider on how to get and alter the data for the application. Because if you don't provide the schema for a field, then that field will not be visible to your consumers. How can they pass the value for the field which is not visible to your consumers? And also, how we will populate to the consumers if that field itself is not visible to your consumers. Okay, so this is basically the contract between the consumer and provider. So here, say for example, if we are developing GraphQL with Spring Boot, then we are the providers. So we need to create the schema files. So in our example, student.java, we know, right, that we provide fields and data type for the fields. So we have some other classes as well in our Spring Boot application. So in the same manner, we create schema for those classes as well. So this kind of collection of GraphQL types is basically schema. Now in REST APIs, we know we have REST controller and we have different HTTP methods inside the REST controller for our APIs. In GraphQL with Spring Boot application, we don't have REST controller at all. We have query and mutation. And what is the purpose of query and mutation? We have already seen, okay? So here in GraphQL, we can say that root of our application, basically entry point of our application is query and mutation. So this is an overview of schema. Now let's quickly see how the schema for student.java class will look like. So we have student.java with 6 fields. Say for example, ID, first name, last name, email, state, city. So this is the schema for student.java. So we are saying that this is the type of student, which is basically our class name in our Spring Boot application. And these are the fields inside the student.java. Student ID, type of long. This is the field, colon, type of this variable inside the student.java. In the same way, first name, type of string, last name, email, street, and at the end, city. As I already said that it's not compulsory to put all the fields that you have inside the student.java into your schema file. Say for example, from the schema file, we are removing this field, city, that is type of string. So now in your student.java, you have the city field, but in the schema file, you have not provided city field with type string, right? We have removed it now. Say for example, this student class is your request payload class, okay? So consumer will not able to pass the value of city field, even you have city field inside your student.java. The reason is you haven't provided city field inside your schema file. So that field is not visible to your consumer. Then how can they pass the value for the city field? Now in the same manner, say for example, this student.java is basically your response model class. That is what you are populating to your consumers in the response in the format of JSON. So they will not get the value for the city field. Even you have city field inside the student.java with data type string. The reason is you haven't provided that inside your schema file. So they will not get the value for the city field. So in short, if you don't provide a field inside your schema file, that will not be visible to your consumers. They will not be able to pass the value for that field, and also they will not get the value for that field in the response. So this is the schema for our example, that is student.java. And as we proceed further in the course, you will learn how to create this schema and where to put your schema files in the Spring Boot application. If you like the video, then please subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, like the video, do comment in the comment section and share with your friends. Do you want to learn GraphQL? If yes, then I'm having complete course on it, that is GraphQL with Spring Boot. This course covers what is GraphQL, what is GraphQL query, mutation, schema, and the difference between GraphQL API and REST API. This course also covers the real-time implementation of GraphQL with Spring Boot. This course also includes how to use Project Lombok with Spring Boot application. So, what are you waiting for? The course link is given in the description. Just click on that link and start your journey of GraphQL with Spring Boot. We'll see you in the another video. Till then, happy learning and happy coding.